Hello, this ride was recorded in January 2026. It follows principal route C7 that goes from Forde in the north, past Gungahlin and down to Belconnen in the south. The route follows protected cycle lanes all the way, although you will have to cross slow or protected road crossings at times. For a fair part of the route you'll be following alongside busy high-speed dual carriageways, so there is a fair part of the route where you will hear traffic noise. This route is branded in dark brown, so it cannot be seen easily when overlaid over satellite imagery, so I'm showing it in an older-fashioned map for ease of viewing. The whole trip takes about 40 minutes, however the route from alongside Gungahlin to Belconnen town centre takes around half an hour and is about 9 kilometres long. Okay, we're starting on the last 100 metres of the old Gundaroo road that used to go all the way from Amaroo to Gundaroo about 25-30 years ago. It's been replaced by a new road, and this bit was dirt has now been upgraded to this big, wide, beautiful, smooth path. It's gentle downhill for 2 kilometres the whole way. As you can see, it's surrounded by beautiful old trees. It's a fantastic, gorgeous ride. You have Mulligan's Flat on the left, the nature reserve, and the new housing estate of Forde on the right. Just for the joy of riding it, I've included this. It's just simple pleasure for a long journey, just for a couple of kilometres to gallop down here as fast as you want. The first kilometre of this road on the left is the Mulligan's Flat Nature Reserve, and then some housing will come in on the left hand side. As always, this is the shared route. The standard guidelines apply. As bikes are faster, they must give way to other people, usually pedestrians, and a good idea to ring your bell if you're not sure that they know you're there. Although it's their right of way, they should not obstruct you. And as you'll notice on this route, there are quite a few people who walk their dogs, and everyone in this area seems to have small dogs. And although in theory they're less dangerous, you don't want to get them tangled up in your wheel, for the dog's sake as well as your wheel's sake. Okay, we've gone past the nature reserve, about halfway there, and just moving on at speed on this lovely smooth path the whole way. The first crossroad with the traffic light, it's a four-way crossing, and we want to move to the diagonally opposite corner. You can either go left and right or right and left. It doesn't really matter. Just have a look at the pedestrian crossing, decide which way round you want to go. I've actually turned right here. It doesn't show it very well, and you see that as you start, we've gone diagonally opposite that, across that junction, and carrying on the old Gundaroo road down towards Yerraby Pond. It's been this fairly gentle downhill, but there's the last steeper downhill that comes down to go underneath Horse Park Drive, with the rainfall overflow coming down. And we're going to go along the side of Yerraby Pond. Usually this path is very, very busy with pedestrians and dogs and other activity. But I did this ride when the traffic was quiet. But it's one of those things to go along here. It's a delightful place to go, but you have to expect that you will be slowed down by other human traffic and dog traffic, of course. You'll notice if you ring your bell, the pedestrians around here, they're used to it and they hang on to their dogs, make sure they don't get in the way. They care for them. The island we just gone past is called Eastern Island. The other island in Yerraby Pond is known as Bin Chicken Island, which is at the end on the left, but we won't see it coming through here. This whole route is one of my favourite routes. You've got such a wide range. You've got all reasonably fast, quiet bits of bushland, bit of lake. Then you've got lots of opportunity to go fast beside big fast roads. It's just pretty and it's a pleasant ride the whole way. Okay, going up the hill towards Gungahlin, those distinctive tyre blocks shows the corner of the city starts on the opposite side of Gundaroo Road. I'll be crossing traffic lights where Route C1 will be going from left to right in front of us. You can see that with the appropriate video if you want to get excited by that. Now we do quite a long route. We stay on the right hand side of Gundaroo Drive for a long distance. Doing the best part of 10 kilometres along here. As we go along here, there are a number of places where there are drainage ditches where the road path forks. You can go off right and go down and up. If you want to stay up high and on the flat at speed, you stay on the left hand side pretty well all the time. Of the path, not the road, that is. So there you are. There's a drainage ditch. You can zoom down and up, but you have to slow down because they're crossing traffic that goes through the underpass. Okay, if you look at the roundels there, the two arrows, they both, if you follow them, they take you down back to Belconnen, not up to Gungahlin. We're going to take the right-hand route, which takes us 100 metres down, and then we take a bridge. Under an underpass, there's water coming down from Yerraby Creek, Yerraby Pond, to the next load of water alongside. So it takes about a minute longer. It's a nice ride to go round. So basically done a U-turn, coming back along Gungahlin Drive, and we'll be turning right at the traffic lights where we could have gone straight ahead had we chosen to do so. But once again, we look at these signs. One roundel shows the way to go. If you turn right coming the opposite direction, you'll end up going to Mitchell and back into the city on Route C1, which is not desired intent. Basically, don't trust the roundels in the area around Gungahlin. I don't know what happened. These suburbs on the west side of Gundaroo Drive, they are put alongside a row of lakes and water features, all very pleasant. As you can see, a number of these underpasses and water drains. On the whole, the cycle routes along Gundaroo Drive are excellent, and particularly down the south when it's just the south end where it's been renewed. Fantastic. This is the one where you don't take the left-hand street. You can spot it because it's assigned to Nichols. If you go left here, you'll be forced to cross the road, which takes you to nowhere. The only way to get back within 100 metres, there's an underpass. So if you end up going left, immediately take the underpass to get back on this side of the road. If you stay on the wrong side of the road, you'll be taken up into the wilds of Crace, and it's very difficult to continue. It's well worth staying on the west side of the road at the moment until we go past the Barton Highway, which is 2 or 3 minutes down here. This again is a gentle downhill, lovely, smooth, fast, exciting route. As we approach the Barton Drive roundabout, the only sensible way to get through is to use the underpass. Don't try and stay on the roundabout, particularly on this side of the road. If you go the wrong way, you'll end up going to the west of Gold Creek. If you go left up there, you'll end up in Gold Creek. There's 2 separate bridges for the 2 dual carriageways, and Ginninderra Creek beside us. On this time you want to go right, to go in the same direction we started. If you go left up there, just behind us, you'll end up still going to Gold Creek, but on the main road. We're going through what I understand used to be the CSIRO Agricultural Research Station. Very beautiful agricultural area. And in about a minute we will actually be moving over to the other side of Gundaroo Drive through an underpass. There's 5 separate underpasses you can use, but Route C7 says you use the first one, but will point out other places that you can spot. So if you miss this one, don't worry about it. You'll have several opportunities to use one of the underpasses to get over. Now we're approaching a roundabout, and you can see it because there's a built-up area and very small sign up to the left just after this, and this is the left turn. Look at the concrete, a very distinctive pattern which shows you the way, will guide you. If you miss that underpass, the brand new cycle path on the other side of the Gundaroo Drive is equally good. They've done a smashing job making a good path on both sides of the road. The bridge we've just gone over goes over the Ginninderra Creek, and this footpath on the left takes us down to a pond by Ginninderra Creek in a short distance. T-junction, you can turn left. That takes you up to Kaleen Shops and on into the wilds of Kaleen itself. And you can hold a good speed all the way through this. This zooms down, it goes under the road going off to Kaleen. That's underpass number 2, and soon after there's another one, in case you missed that one. There are also slip roads for people who want to get off and on the road. If you're a bike rider who wants to use the busy road, that's just fine. You have that opportunity. We're coming up to the real reason people like to come down here, because you go past Lake Ginninderra, the scenery and the vegetation of the parkland is absolutely gorgeous. It's worth coming along just for the ride. And that's Belconnen in the distance. That's where we're going to. Now what's happened, if you're still on the other side of the road, the major path has reduced to a footpath, and you can identify it because there's a big fence on the left hand side. If you go that way, it's nothing to worry about, because in half a K you'll join with route C3B and you can come back in across to here. But that was your last opportunity to get over this side. In a minute this path will fork left. The big deal is go uphill. If you take the downhill route, you'll end up going under the bridge to a peninsula, and there's no easy way to get out without a significant detour. However, as you can see, once we're over this bridge, you'll be on the same blob of land where Belconnen is, and there's a left fork from there, and that is my personal preferred route because it takes you downhill and along the lake edge. It takes about the same time, shorter distance, going a little bit slower. If you want to do that route, go left here. Otherwise, we'll follow route C7 to show you the way. Now we're going to be turning right at these traffic lights onto OsmAnd Drive. Because I did some poor cutting, it's not obvious there is a right turn. So we cross the road and then turn right and follow the footpath heading south on the eastern side. On the right between us and the lake, there's a beautiful bit of parkland called John Knipe Park. John Knipe lived in the 1800s. He was a businessman, entrepreneur and real estate agent. He was known for his land property deals. For some reason that made him famous, and has a park named after him. Mind you, that was Thiri Wiri Park, and where that name came from, I have no idea. University of Canberra's off to our left, we're heading south. At the bottom here, you can turn left into University of Canberra, or turn right and take the underpass under OsmAnd Drive. At the far end of OsmAnd Drive is a left-hand turn. There's a tiny sign on that lamppost, 50mm wide, which is meant to be sufficient to tell you to go left. And bemused, there is a John Knipe Memorial Basketball Court. I've done some research and found no evidence that John Knipe ever played basketball in his lifetime. If you take the lakeside path, you'll connect up with it here and turn left towards city centre. Past this building, there's a big bump there. The second time you go along here, you will remember it. It's not comfortable. And coming up to the big east-west road at the south end of Lake Ginninderra, and this is effectively city centre for Belconnen Way. Heading west here, and this is the end of route C7 in Ginninderra. There's a map here showing where it is. You've got route C7 to Belconnen, C3 to the city and out to Charnwood. There's also a route C5 that heads south from here to Tuggeranong. That's all for now. Cheerio.